Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to the recharge or the revamp of the Real Talk Roundtable. And I am Dr. Leslie, and here with me are my co-hosts. I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Chelsea Tate.
My name's Jamie.
He's there more.
Good. So it's Happy New Year time, and this is our first episode back. So I thought I would start the conversation and just talking about, that whole idea. Hopefully, we've just kind of worked out of having resolutions. It used to be always that big thing to have resolutions, and then you last for maybe 2 months, 3 months. But I want us to talk a little bit more about intention. There's one thing about making a resolution, and then it becomes another task on our list. And then, but when you think about changing for the new year or making some kind of transition or transformation, I think about intentions. And so, well, I want your thoughts on it. What's the difference between when you're thinking about intentions versus resolutions? And so for me, when I've got to make a change in my life, I I can put the action into place, but if I don't have intention to about how I want to feel or what message I'm trying to get across or what my larger goal is, then it doesn't seem to have enough purpose for me. So I can't stay engaged and I can't do it. When I add that piece in there, when I add it in there, then I have more of ability to stick to it. So I don't really call it a resolution. I call it that intention. And with so that's why I sometimes shift over to the Lunar New Year, with the dragon being that the year of the dragon coming up. That makes more sense in that realm instead of the traditional Happy New Year. So, what are your thoughts, Chelsea? What are your thoughts?
I feel like for me, when I feel like I identify the difference between a resolution and an intention, it almost feels like the action versus my why. So like a couple of my resolutions is like, I want to be on time because I am chronically late to everything. And that's just like not a characteristic I want to hold anymore. And then the intention kind of inside of that is more so that like I do care about spending time with my friends and I do care about the way that I show up in those relationships. And I do care about the kind of person that makes me. And so I would say that those are really like what those differences are. And I would say that for me, like for the resolutions versus like the intentions, is the intention feels more like almost like a direction for my identity rather than something I need to fix. Which a lot of times is like what my resolutions have been, where it's like, I really want to lose 5 pounds, or like, I want to wear my retainer more, which had been a resolution for like 5 years that I just never did. Because what does my teeth have to do with my identity? So I think that's kind of how it hits for me.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that. I think that that's like an excellent explanation. For me, the resolution is the result of like the goal, right? And then the intention would obviously be the intent behind it. So like Chelsea, with your example of losing 5 pounds, like yes, my goal is to always lose 5 pounds. And in fact, each year it's more and more pounds that I want to lose. I think we're up to like 40 now. But the intention behind that would be to be like a more healthy person, to be able to like go on like longer hikes and do sports and just like feel better rather than and like so I guess like the intention for me would be to feel better and healthier and like like I'm not gonna die when I walk up a flight of stairs. Whereas like the resolution is gonna be just kind of like what comes along with that intention along the way.
100%. I did it
Yeah.
at like the start of 2020 when we were all like locked in our houses. That was when I started actually doing like another weight loss program. I was like, I can't just eat Cheez-Its for the next 4 months. I'm gonna die. The program that I chose was one where it actually dug a little bit deeper into like the behavioral change aspects. And
Mhm.
that like what you said is exactly it. Like it really wasn't until I identified my deep dark why that I actually wanted to be more present in the things that I really loved doing instead of being worried about like what my body looked like. That was actually what helped me, I think, start it, but then also like have it continue, and where I actually did see like some of that lasting change. So 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah, and so you've already mentioned a couple of, I guess, intentions with, the old resolution part. But the next, I guess, thing I want us to discuss is an intention that you've thought about incorporating into this next year and what it means to you and why you're doing it. And so it feels like with my last few months, my 4 months, that everything that I do well and I do that I'm talented at, or my gifts and stuff, I have not had that kind of consistency where that when I wake up in the day, I'm really good at making my decisions based on those values that I've kind of done on a regular basis. So I feel like consistency has been sort of lacking, I guess, in my overall manifesting my life, manifesting this life that I've done for myself. So I would say, so I have some intentions around being more consistent. So that might mean that I have to not say yes every time, a project comes across my plate, but that I choose the ones that are going to give me that balance, have some intention about that schedule. I always have to I notice that if I don't I'm not able to touch base with that creative side of me, then I can't do anything else very well. Okay. The other stuff that I do are tasky. I show up late. I do all that kind of stuff. Okay. But if I get the art, I show up late all the time. I'm always late. I mess up the schedule consistently. I've never, ever been able to do the schedule correctly. Okay. So
You're
it's just,
consistent.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There we go. There we go. But I notice if I don't put some of those elements in that gives me that clear balance, and if I do it consistently, then I can operate under that stuff. I can operate under my, mishaps that I have. So yeah. And I was just thinking about, oh man, I don't know if anybody else does this, but and while you're out there, get your papers out and kind of think about your intentions, and put them down in the comments in our YouTube. Okay, so but I don't know if anybody else does this. You sign up for more memberships, like you hit the button that you're going to do it, and then you get the charge the following month because you did a free trial, and go, what the heck did I do again? And I look back and I've got at least 10 that I have not used, and trying to figure out who I got it from, what kind of thing. This like so crazy. So I'd rather have that I would hope that consistency that I have in the things that make my machine, my body, mind, spirit work right, can keep me from making those quick, impulsive decisions too. So lots of different things with that. I think I'll write some more about it. Yeah. All right. Who's next?
Like, so like the
Who wants to?
strategies that you kind of like put in place for yourself to try to create some of that consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heard.
I think that
Go for
my intention for the new year is, well, it's out the window already. It's January 17th. I was gonna be less negative and like more of a positive person, just like in general, but it's been a hard day. It's been a hard morning. It's one.
I mean, to be fair, bro, it's like the 17th and you lasted this long being positive. Like, if you're looking at it in
Yeah.
that perspective, it's insane to be 100%
Just like I
for 80.
think my resolution is to like be happy, right? And like I guess I just need like a good vibes only t-shirt, right? But no. My intention, but for real, my intention is to be like to spread positivity and like kind of just like a happier vibe to people around me. I don't think that that includes 100% giving up any like negativity, because sometimes there's humor in the crappy things that go on, and I think it's important to like keep that, but like making light of situations and just like not being a straight up bitch right off the bat. I think that's like my intention is to be a positive person in people's lives, whether that's like being happy and bubbly all the time, or just like vibing with people when they're having a bad day.
Yeah. I really like how you do that too, Jamie. And I like how you make
Okay.
those negatives turn into like the sarcasm.
Punchline.
We've talked about sarcasm before, but there's a good part of that sarcasm that kind of keeps the group going, and I like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. You don't want to be the toxic positivity person. That's 100% not
Okay.
me and never will be. So,
Yeah. I was going to
but
say
you,
that it
Chelsea.
sounds like, I was going to say that it sounds like you're just wanting to give yourself more space, because I feel like it's so normal to like have negative emotions. Like, I mean, we're in therapy. Like, we have to freaking process that shit. Otherwise, it's going to bottle up and explode on the 17th of January. And you're like, fuck those tensions for the year. Damn it.
I hate
Um,
State Farm.
exactly. So I think it's cool that your intention is, what it sounds like to me, is it's less that you're trying to just like be bubbly all the time, but more so that you just want to like temper maybe your reactions and have more responses rather than reactions, is like what it sounds like.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
that.
I'm not going to let the people on Facebook Marketplace ruin my day anymore when they message me with passive aggressive crap.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
in a way, it kind of sounds like in some ways, it sounds like the same intentions that I do. I'm trying to slow down to have the ability to make those choices in the moment. And you too, with the way in which you respond to the stuff that's going on around you or the people and stuff like that. So that's interesting. Yeah, cool.
Mhm. What are
yeah.
your intentions, Chelsea?
Um, Honestly, I kind of stopped making New Year's like resolutions and intentions a couple of years ago. And it really wasn't until this year that I started wanting to like have more of a direction on it. And for myself, I'm kind of at a point where I almost don't want to force myself into doing things before I'm ready, because I feel like so much of, my path and everything like that has been very like survival mode oriented, and like you should do this because you're supposed to, and it's like should do this, should do this, should do this, and I'm just like it's loud. It's loud in here. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I get like very woo-woo algorithm on TikTok. And there was this really cool concept that got introduced where it was like you don't necessarily have to have everything figured out by January 1st. Like energetically, we're still in winter. We're in
Yeah.
hibernation. So I'm kind of taking that as like I'm gonna do Q1 resolutions. Like I'm gonna take this
Mm-hmm.
time to
Yeah.
kind of like plant all my little seeds for how I want like the rest of the year to go. Cause I mean, when I look at my life historically, things really start to pop off in spring anyway. Like March is really when my life blooms a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would say that as far as like my intentions go, they're definitely still developing, which is really fun that I've kind of given myself that space that I can like not feel like I have to have it all figured out right now because I'm a Capricorn, and that like hurts me a little bit. But then I also have like
Mm-hmm.
other in my chart. And so the intentional pieces that I've got is that like I want to create consistent practices around giving myself that space to actually process, so that way I can, kind of similar to you guys, so that way I can really like function the way that I want to function in my best self when those kind of more pressure situations come up. Because I've kind of found that in my past, I've like been so focused on like the external expectations and not even really been able to give myself the space to hear what it is that I need or what I want or anything like that. And so I'm kind of just like, probably since I started therapy, just kind of building all these little pieces into my life that help me just stay on track. And especially I learned a lot of lessons through like my weight loss journey. And one of the core ones was slips and surges. And that was really helpful for understanding that, like, especially when I'm developing habits, it's very normal to not like have the trajectory be like this. But a lot of times it's like, it goes like this. And so that helps me have a lot more grace for myself in those moments where I'm not like at my 100%. And kind of just putting more things in place that help me get closer to that 100% instead of expecting it to just like happen like happy January 1st. I'm new again. Like she it took a while for her to get here. It's gonna take her a while to like get to where she wants to go. So the pieces that I've kind of like stuck in my life are like I've gotten really into yoga in the last little bit just because that's taught me so much about how to meet myself. Sorry, there's been a lot going on in my apartment. Taught me how to like meet myself where I'm at, and like learning how to connect with my body, because that's something that I've really learned that has been really disconnected over the probably like the course of my lifetime. So that's something that's really helped. Being consistent with like journaling, not as like a habit, like I gotta do it, because that's a very like masculine type of way to think. And I'm trying to shift to be a little bit more balanced between my masculine and my feminine. But being able to take like, instead of journal every day, it's like journal when you need it. Journal, like, obviously I need to like dump at the end of every day so I can like sleep properly. Ooh, sleep habits. That's a big one for this year. I am myself when I've gotten good sleep. So like journal when I need to. And with the sleep, it's like 5 days of the week, try to get to bed by like 10:30. Because when I have those kinds of pillars in my life that support my emotional self, um, in ways that like probably haven't been supported before, that's what allows the more real me of, where my New Year's resolutions want me to get to. That's what allows me to be able to have that path and stay on that path a little more. Has it been perfect all the time? Absolutely not. But I think that for me, with that intention of wanting to be more balanced and wanting to learn how to give myself that energetic space, that's what's helped kind of shape like, okay, what kind of shit do I need? Including like accountability. I have little to no natural urgency. And I know that I work so much better when I have like accountability in my life. So therapy, love it. I started like doing a money type program so that way I can get more like comfortable and out of like survival mode with my budgeting, with like my monetary budget, and get more into like a thriving space. So I feel like it all in my mind, I'm like very holistic, and I kind of feel like it's all the same shit. And the way I live my life is the way you live your life. And so I'm like, okay, if I want this relationship with myself, then that should be my relationship with like the way that I work with my money and the way that I budget my energy and the way that I like working on my boundaries, things like that. So intentionally, it's building in those blocks that support me with having that balance that allows the real me to kind of peek through a little bit more.
Yeah, good stuff. I like to see you evolve. It's been beautiful. So
Thanks. I've
yeah.
had a vision board that's been just like, are you going to make me yet? And I'm like, shut up. I'm
Yeah.
working
So
on it. I'm gathering
about
words right now.
yeah. Yeah. Speaking about the vision board, or even some of the things that you mentioned, or all of us have mentioned, so maybe the last thing we can discuss before we say goodbye is, what traditions do you use around this time of year, or is, some that you want to let go of, or some that you want to add in, and And I always have a word for the year, and I do it with my friend in Reno who does this new moon art thing every year, and she makes a little bracelet or a necklace with our word on it and sends it back, and it's kind of a group that art group that I do every month, and I do that with her every year. So my last few years, it's been empower, magic, freedom. That one made my arm recently. And that's one I'm going to hold on to. I don't have the word yet. It's kind of coming, and the activity that we do with her is an art activity, and you kind of brainstorm that and come up with it, and it seems to work. The one with magic was last year. So my retreat was focused around having magic show up in the material that I was presenting, or whatever it is that I had. Everything was about magic. And and the year before, I was doing the program and trying to empower women to want to live their life more authentically, and sign up for my program and stuff. And so I was into that word, but I like that because it doesn't have a lot of fluff with it. I've got this one word, okay, and I use that as the filter. Is this gonna, does this fit under here, and fit under that, and that word? Of course, I think there was a couple years back there that I had more than one word, and that's okay too. But that's the one I'm gonna keep. So
It's almost like your mission statement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another one. Doing the mission statement and your manifesto. This is who I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do, and I love. I love working on that every year too. I do that one too. How about you? Anybody else on that one? The traditions you're going to get rid of and do new ones, or
In my mind, I was like, I kind of have a word. You definitely said traditions.
I think that, so one of the traditions that I have for New Year's is to I like to clean my house right as the year's beginning, and it feels just so much fresher, and like I get rid of a bunch of crap. And then I decide that I am never buying anything ever again. And I'm usually good about that until about May. But I get in kind of like an organizing and like cleaning and decluttering space in the beginning of the year. And then when I do have, like, I kind of take the first like 6 weeks or so of the year to sort of like think about the intention behind my changes for the new year. And then I generally like really start like digging into them around Valentine's Day is my tradition. So
right,
Love
right.
that.
You,
Jamie, why are we twins? That's literally what I was going to say.
I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah,
you guys are. Yeah, you guys are. I have to say. Yeah.
Very, very similar. I definitely have been going through like a purging, decluttering process where I'm like, what is even in these cabinets? Get it out. Get it out. There's too much shit under my bed. It's bad for my feng shui. So
The energy can't move through.
no, it can't. I didn't even know that stuff was bad for you, but I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put this paddle board. There's not enough place for it. So definitely the decluttering thing, for sure. And the cleaning of the apartment. I actually had a pipe burst in my apartment last night, and it like a little bit flooded everything. And while that sucked, I also had been really meaning to clean my floors, so I kind of just like threw a little Pine Sol down there as I was mopping, and I was like,
the
literally
positives,
turning it into lemonade, like I'll take it. So I would say that the cleaning piece definitely hits. And then to share it, because I did have a word come up that like I've been chewing on for the last little bit. I think in previous years I've been really attached to this like word of balance, and I think in my mind it's always been kind of like a duality thing where it's like this or that, this or that, this or that. And I think as I'm kind of giving myself more space right now. It's so funny that you mentioned that you like do it for 6 weeks and then you go into Valentine's Day. Like, I love that. That's so great. Anyway, harmony. Because I feel like harmony just is a little bit more all-encompassing in terms of like the dynamicy that I'm kind of thinking about and like the direction that I want to have and like the way that I want to be. It's a little bit more all of it rather than just like black or white. I'm like, no, no, no.
Mhm.
There's it's different directions, things like that. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
I like that.
Well, yeah. Any other last thoughts about intentions or anything before we go? I want to keep it around 20 minutes. And oh, I'm surprised I didn't get the balloons for Zoom, because every time I do that, I get the balloons. All right. So yeah. So I want to thank everybody for signing on and listening to us today. And remember that we're promoting the Take Your Life Back and More program, that main program. We've got 2 start dates. And one is this Saturday. So if you're listening to this right now and it's already past Saturday, yes, you can still come. Just give me a call and we can get you squared away. And then the next one is February 24th, and we'd really like you to come. I've gotten 68 women through the program, and I feel like it's one of the best things I've done in my whole career. I just love it very much, and I'm watching people transform, watching women take
I
their
think
lives
that
back.
the
It's been
program is one of the
awesome.
best things I've done in my whole life.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, and I
Mhm.
appreciate that feedback too. All right, so send us your comments down here and let us know. But next month we're going to do self-love. Okay, so just for that month of February. Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
So where's the darn thing at?